What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ravi Wadden, and in today's video, I want to talk about the 2024 Honda Prologue lease because, in my opinion, it's one of the best lease deals in the country in December of 2024 because right now you can lease a Honda Prologue all-wheel drive EX for as little as $229 a month with just $2,999 due at signing. And ladies and gentlemen, this isn't even a negotiated lease price. This is the lease price that's on Honda.com. So in my opinion, or if I were shopping for this particular car, I would shoot to get that monthly payment down even lower. So if you're in the market for a Honda Prologue or for an EV, I think you'll get a lot of value from this video. So what we'll do in the first part of this video is we'll head over to Honda's website and we'll kind of study this Prologue lease deal in detail. We'll get into all the little nitty-gritty things that'll help you get a good lease deal and just help you understand leases better. In the second part of this video, what we'll do is we'll run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this Honda Prologue, and I'll show you why I think it's such a good lease deal in terms of the value that you get. And then in the third part of this video, what we'll do is we'll quickly run the numbers and compare the monthly lease payment with $0 down to the monthly finance payment with $0 down. And I'll show you why this Honda Prologue, why leasing this Honda Prologue is a financial no-brainer because of the cost of ownership over that 36-month term. So if that sounds good to you, please be sure to like this video. Please be sure to follow. And if you're in the market for a Tesla, please be sure to use my referral link. You can save up to $2,000 on a new Tesla. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into the video and talk about this Honda Prologue lease. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on the Honda website. And as you can see, I am on their current offers page and I'm on the Honda Prologue page. And here you're going to see all 8 offers that are being offered on the Honda Prologue. And the lease deal that we're going to look at is this one where you can get a 2024 Honda Prologue all-wheel drive EX for just $229 a month. It's a 36-month lease that requires just $2,999 due at signing. And you'll see that there's also this lease deal here that's for $259 a month, and I'll show you why there are 2 separate lease deals. So if we look at this one that's for $229 a month, you'll see that it's available for customers who currently own a 2014 or newer Honda, Buick, Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Fisker, Ford, GMC, Hyundai, Jeep, Kia, Mazda, Mini, Mitsubishi. Okay, if you own any of these vehicles, 2014 or newer, you're going to qualify for the $229 a month payment. If you don't own these particular cars, 2014 or newer, you qualify for the $259 a month monthly payment. And I'm not sure what Honda calls it, but this is typically called, it looks like a mix between like a loyalty and a conquest rebate. So if you own a 2014 or newer, it looks like you're saving or getting an additional $1,000 rebate. Now you'll also see that this lease deal does expire on the 2nd of January. So it's the 20th of December right now at the time of filming. So you still have a little bit of time to get this lease deal. You'll also see that this lease allows for 10,000 miles a year. Now I tell people all the time, hey look, if you know you're going to drive 12,000 miles a year or 15,000 miles a year, you can go to the Honda dealership and get a 12,000 mile a year lease or a 15,000 mile a year lease. Yes, your monthly payment is going to increase, but it's going to increase just a little bit, compared to paying the excess mileage penalty. So if you got a 10,000 mile a year lease as an example, and you actually ended up driving it 12,000 miles a year or 6,000 miles over, you're going to end up paying the excess mileage penalty, which as you can see here is 20 cents a mile. So if we just quickly bust out the calculator, let's just cancel this out. 6,000 miles a year divided by 20 cents. You're going to end up paying, I meant to multiply by 0.2. 6,000 times 0.2, you're going to end up paying about $1,200 more over that 36-month period. If we divide this by 36, you're going to end up paying about $33 more a month. Whereas if you get a 12,000 mile a year up front, you might end up paying like $10 or $15 more a month. So you save a little bit of money there. Also, what I want to let you guys know is, anytime you see this due at signing amount, so right here it says $2,999 due at signing, this can be a bit misleading for a lot of customers because a lot of people think that, hey, I go into the dealership and I just pay, $2,999 and then I just have my monthly payment of $229 a month. But if you look at the fine print, it says that the down payment excludes tax, title, license, and dealer fees. Now, depending on where you live, tax, title, and license can vary tremendously. But like, for instance, here in the city of Seattle, we typically have a very high tax rate, and we pay a lot for things like registration annually. So on a car like this, you're looking at about 10% taxes on all of your rebates. And I think rebates on this car, let's just say, are $10,000. So let's say, you're going to owe about $1,000 in taxes, and then let's say registrations, another $500-600, and then other little fees, etc., or another $500. So let's just call it $2,000 even. So in reality, you're looking at about another $2,000 on top of this $2,999. So I want to make that clear because a lot of people get really confused with that due at signing amount, and sometimes they walk into the dealer and they think the dealer's trying to screw them over, but they're really not. Because as you can see, tax, title, license is not included. Now, another thing I want to mention is that this vehicle has an MSRP of $51,795, but what you'll see here is that you have the option to purchase this vehicle at the end of the lease for $25,379. Now, does it always make sense to buy the vehicle at the end of the lease? No. You typically only want to exercise the option to either buy the car at the end of the lease or to sell the car before your lease ends if you have positive equity. Now, if this car is worth less than $25,379, you can just walk away from the car and just pay the disposition fee and walk away from this car. And that's the beauty of leasing, right? So if you have negative equity, just walk away from the car. Whereas if you were to finance this car and you have negative equity, there's a lot of people who bought EVs, whether it's Teslas or Kia EV6s or Hyundai Ioniq 5s that are in upside down $15,000, $20,000. And that's why I always recommend to lease EVs. Not only do you get a better deal because more people qualify for the $7,500 EV tax credit, but the risk of negative equity goes away. And I think that gives a lot of people a lot of peace of mind. Now, what I want to do in this part of the video is run my 1.25% rule of leasing. So what I'm going to do is bust out the handy dandy calculator again. Let's go ahead and reset this. And so the 1.25% rule of leasing is just a value metric that I use to determine whether or not a particular lease deal is a good lease deal in terms of value. Now, anytime you run this calculation and you get a number under 1.5%, that's a good lease deal. If you get a number under 1.25%, that's a great lease deal. And if you get a number under 1%, that's an amazing lease deal. So let's run the 1.25% rule of leasing on this Honda Prologue, and let's see what we get. So what we'll do is we'll take that $2,999 that's due at signing, and let's add that $2,000 for tax, title, and registration, which I touched on earlier in this video. And that gives me $4,999. Now what I'm going to do is take that due at signing amount and divide it by 36, since this is a 36-month lease, and that gives me $138. And then I'll add the monthly payment of $229 to this amount, and that gives me a pre-sales tax monthly payment of $367, because remember, you have to pay tax on the rebates, but then you still have to pay sales tax on the payment. So this payment of $367 does not include sales tax. So I'm going to multiply this by 1.1 because the sales tax rate here in Seattle is approximately 10%. And if the sales tax where you live is 6%, you multiply by 1.06. If it's 7%, multiply by 1.07. And that gives me $404 a month. So this $404 a month is my effective monthly payment. Another way of saying that is it's my monthly payment with $0 down and all taxes and fees rolled into the monthly payment. I get a $404 monthly payment. And if I divide this by this vehicle's MSRP, which is listed down here as $51,795, and multiply this by 100 to make it a percentage, you get 0.78%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, anytime you run this calculation and you get a number under 1%, that's an amazing lease deal in terms of value. And this Honda Prologue is sitting at 0.78%. And like I said, this is, just accounting for a loyalty rebate. And this is not even, negotiating the price down even further, or maybe you qualify for other rebates and that would also drive the price down even further and make this an even more enticing lease deal. And really quickly, I do want to give you guys some shopping tips for this Honda Prologue. So anytime you see a lease, a lease ad like this one, some dealers are going to honor it. Some dealers are going to be able to beat this deal, and some dealers are going to tell you to, hey, we can't even touch this deal. There's no way we can even come close to this. And that's why it's really, really important to cross-shop this deal with different dealers. And maybe you live by 3 different Honda dealers. Make sure you email all of them. And don't be afraid to perhaps go out of state or, to make your search radius like 200 or 300 miles. Because in my opinion, it's worth it to drive 2 or 3 hours to save, a couple $1,000s. And really quickly, in this part of the video, what I want to do is take you guys to the auto loan calculator. Now, I've pre-populated this calculator. I used a selling price of the MSRP, which is $51,795. I used a 72-month loan term. I assumed a 0% interest rate. I just wanted to give the finance the benefit of the doubt and just use the best interest rate, which is no interest at all. No down payments here. I used a sales tax rate of 10%, and I rolled in title registration and other fees, and I hit calculate, and you get a monthly payment if you finance this car of $819 a month. And if you lease this car, if you remember, the effective monthly payment was just $404 a month. Now, as you can see, you're saving over $400 a month, $4,800 a year, and approximately a little under $15,000 over 3 years. So if you think of total cost of ownership over 3 years, you're saving $15,000 if you lease it. Now, a lot of you are going to say, "Hey, Ravi, but most people aren't paying $51,000 or sticker price for the Prologue." Okay, let's go ahead and discount it by approximately, let's say, 20% and do $41,795 and take $10,000 off of the selling price. Your monthly payment is still $666 a month, which is $260 more than the effective payment if you were to lease this car. And that's why I think leasing this particular vehicle makes so much financial sense. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a video. Thank you all for watching. And if you guys want pre-negotiated lease deals, you can head over to DriveMatch.com. That's a company that I co-founded, and with DriveMatch, you can get pre-negotiated lease deals. You don't have to, waste time at the dealer, and everything on DriveMatch has been vetted. Everything is a good lease deal, so people get peace of mind, you save money, and you save a lot of time car shopping. So go ahead and check out DriveMatch.com. But if you guys have any questions about this Honda Prologue lease or leasing in general or any other car questions, let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you want one-on-one car purchase or car lease coaching, I do offer that. So check out the link in the description below. And with that, I'm going to call it a video. Thank you all for watching. Financial knowledge is power. Please like and follow for more.